Hello, everybody. Welcome back. I can't believe you're back. And I also just want to say, I can't believe the Trey Reed podcast is doing really well. The last episode, episode 6, is being received very well on Spotify. And it's truly because I think all of you, just like me, we didn't know about this. With everything that's going on right now, to come across this news and such serious and violent news about a young boy being found hanging from a tree. Okay, so as of the 17th, I still haven't heard anything new, nothing in the investigation. I think cases like this take so long. And I think we should all also keep the pulse on what the Reed family is saying. I know that they just wanted a moment to process their grieving. I was just thinking about the words from Trey's family, that he was quiet, but he was so welcoming and just curious. And it's just such a shame because it could be any of us, if we're really honest. And it's so sad no matter what the outcome is. I'll keep paying attention because I really am invested in learning the truth about Trey Reed and making sure we get justice no matter what happens and the family lives at peace as best as they can. So I'm consuming information and I love that I'm seeing more about Trey Reed now. I think as the days go on, we're starting to consume it a bit more and it's just so great and I'm just so happy. So just wanted to point that out there. So this episode, I'm going to talk about Luigi Mangione, Epstein updates, and I can't remember the last one. What was the last one? See, I have it all here. Oh, is that it? I think that's it for now. I'll probably come back. Ben and Jerry's. That's the other thing I wanted to talk about. Ben and Jerry's, the founders of the famous ice cream brand, and how they are now being apparently censored for speaking out against, or for speaking up for what they believe in, which goes against, all the free speakers out there. All right, jumping into it. Let's start with Luigi Mangione. Okay, so Luigi, as you know, he is on trial for the killing of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. So yesterday, on Tuesday, September 18th, a New York State judge dismissed the state terrorism charges against Luigi Mangione, but kept the second-degree murder charge in connection to the killing of Brian Thompson. In December, wow, we're in September already. It's almost been a year. So the reasoning behind this is the New York judge said that the charges were legally insufficient. So the judge said that the prosecutors presented legally sufficient evidence of all other accounts, including murder by the second degree. So it seemed like the terrorism charge, there wasn't enough evidence for the judge to feel confident to charge him at that level. So Luigi is 27 and he faces a large amount of charges, from federal charges to other state charges in Pennsylvania as well. Because remember, he was found across state lines in Pennsylvania, I believe at a McDonald's. So the trial date is set for December 1st. Wow, exactly 1 year to the killing of Brian Thompson. And I wonder if this will be public. I wonder if you know what? It kind of reminded me of the Diddy case. Remember how the Diddy case wasn't public, but the Amber Heard and Johnny Depp was? I wonder why that is. I have a feeling off the bat it's because it's just a high-profile case that they probably would want to keep it to themselves. But yeah, especially because he's getting charged with a whole bunch of stuff. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. I just thought it was an interesting update that was going around the news cycles yesterday. I just want to know if Mangione is found guilty of the highest count in New York, so second-degree murder, he could face up to 25 years to life in prison. So I'll keep following it. I'm interested to see how New York and Pennsylvania are both going to work together to form the appropriate sentence. I know that there's a lot of public outroar about this. I think there's always been this mixed sentiment of, no, someone shouldn't get killed, but we need to look into the why. Why are people so upset with the healthcare system? Why are people dying? Why can't people receive care? We need to hold pharmaceutical companies and healthcare companies accountable, but this isn't the way to do it, by killing them. No, they need due process. There is a huge healthcare problem here in the United States, and the fact that the most wealthiest country in the world could not provide healthcare to all, if not the majority of their citizens. It's an issue. It's an issue. But we should not be doing violence against others. And that's personally just me. Like, I'm very anti-violence. I'm like anti-war and all that stuff. So I really just don't like it. But there are conversations that need to be had, period. Okay, Epstein. I'm never going to stop talking about this Epstein thing because this is just outrageous. But I just want everybody to know Trump is currently in the UK. And because Trump has graced his presence in the UK, he was met with protesting, peaceful protesting. The British people weren't having it. And listen, as someone who's half Brit, half American, I can criticize both because, and the UK has a fair share of its own problems, a lot actually. So earlier on Tuesday, September 16th, when Trump touched down, so protesters showed off a massive banner of a photo of Trump and Epstein near Windsor Castle. So they basically projected pictures of Epstein and whoever, Trump, everybody, on the castles at Windsor. That's hilarious. The towers, excuse me, at Windsor. The police said in a statement that 4 adults were arrested on suspicion of malice communications following an unauthorized projection at Windsor Castle, which they described as a public stunt. The 4 remain in custody. I mean, the picture is bad, y'all. Have y'all seen the pictures? Go Google the pictures. This is what's going to happen. It's not going away. Epstein is not going away. And let me tell you something else about this releasing of the files. Once again, the House Republicans, the Senate Republicans, they all voted against releasing the files again. Why? What's there to hide? So let's talk about it because it's not being talked about. On September 10th, Senate Republicans defeated Chuck Schumer's push to force the release of Epstein's files. Strange. Very strange to me that this is still being pushed against. Isn't that strange, y'all? I wonder why that would be. Think about that. The GOP tabled Schumer's amendment, but Republicans Rand Paul and Josh Hawley joined the Democrats in voting in favor for releasing the records. Okay, so they didn't do that before. Gotta give credit where credit's due. Rand Paul and Josh Hawley have now sided with releasing the files. Interesting. So the vote was 51-49 in favor of tabling the amendment. So we basically just need 3 more Republicans. 2 more Republicans at least, right? No, 3. So is that 51-49? We need that to be reversed. So 49, 50, 51, 52. We need to have a 52 because if it goes even, like if it's 50-50, then J.D. Vance, the vice president, has the authority to make the decision. And we all know what he's going to do. We all know what he's going to do. He's going to vote against it. So we need 3 more. Listen, it's not going away. That's just what it is. It's not going away. People are going to keep talking about it. We're seeing that in the UK. Anytime Trump goes abroad, it is most likely that there will be protests and Epstein will be included in those protests. It's not going to go away. If we release the files, it will put a lot to rest, even if the names on those files are names we don't want to hear. I don't know what to say. There's just nothing. We can't. It's so hard. There's no movement. And the victims and the survivors of this malice man and groups of thugs will never get what they deserve, which is justice. All because 51 people denied the files to be released. Those 51 people have a lot to answer to your peoples, to the people that vote you in. Listen, when you go to those town halls, when election is up for midterms, ask these questions. Why did you vote against the release of the file? The excuses of, we got to protect the victims. It's over. They came out and they said they want it. It's over. Protect the victim names, but absolutely at the hands of the abusers and people that enjoyed the luxuries of Epstein should be put on trial, bring the names forward. That's all I got to say about that. Just like Trey Reed, we will continue the Epstein talk here on the A-Files. Don't know what you want from me, but that's exactly what you're going to get. Okay, and the last story I want to talk about, something that just happened today as of the 17th of September. Jerry from Ben & Jerry's resigns, saying the company has been silenced. Now, if any of you know, Ben & Jerry, literally Ben & Jerry, the 2 people that founded Ben & Jerry's, they are very political. They're extremely left-wing. My friend Jasmine and I actually went to Vermont on a trip, and we went to the head, like their factory where they originated the Ben and Jerry's. And I'm telling you now, the first sign I saw was Black Lives Matter and all these trans flags and LGBTQ flags. And it was very welcoming and bomb too, might I add. It was so good. But Jerry Greenfield, one of the founders, has resigned from the ice cream company, saying its independence has been lost and its social activism is now silenced under the control of its parent company, Unilever. It's Unilever. I'm keeping that in. Unilever is censoring them. So the announcement of Jerry's departure came from Ben Conan, his business partner, on social media earlier this morning on Wednesday. The decision comes years after tensions between the parent company and Ben and Jerry's founders, because the parent company, Unilever, acquired them back in the early 2000s. But apparently the agreement was that they wouldn't censor Ben and Jerry's political activism. Dang. Dang, dang, dang. In a statement, Mr. Greenfield said he could no longer in good conscience remain at the company he started with back in 1978. He said that the independence to pursue our values that had been granted for Ben & Jerry's when it merged with Unilever in early 2000 had been lost. Stand on business, Jerry. That's so sad. That's so sad that not only was that like an agreement between them, Ben & Jerry's, they've been very outspoken for decades. And they knew this when they acquired them. And now they want to silence them because of the political climate, because of this administration. Let's be honest. This is ridiculous. Actually, Jerry, where are we going? Because I'm coming with you. I don't even have Ben & Jerry's, but I will. No, not anymore. No. We're not having it anymore. We're following Mr. Greenfield. Jerry, we will look out for the next ice cream company. Look at what happened to Target. As soon as Target was like, we're getting rid of DEI, we all stopped shopping there and they lost money. So let's keep the same energy with Ben and Jerry. And I hope more business leaders who are on the right side of history do the same thing, because what we're going through with this silencing of free speech is so unprecedented. Anywho, I know this was another quick one. I really like these quick episodes because I can get it up in real time. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll make sure to do something a bit more lighthearted next time. But unfortunately, this is the news, right? This is the climate. And I'm just reporting on what I'm seeing. I'm reporting strategically on things that I personally had to dig deep for that I couldn't just find. So I hope you find that useful. And thank you so much for watching, and follow. Oh, I gotta do this more. Follow me, like do all that thing, like follow, subscribe, and on YouTube and stuff, and Spotify. Thank you so much. Oh, and Instagram. I have a TikTok. I created one, and I just can't be bothered. It's too much. Okay. All right. Bye.